thank you guys for being here to help me through this ordinance. I knew a lot of commission wasn't going to be here. They're traveling. And I think we got half the people out. So.
Well, that's not your fault. You held the meeting.
Yep, but I thought it'd be good to have registered deeds in because some questions may come up about Courtney's coming.
Awesome.
So some questions may come up about registered deeds, and then I thought Michael and Phil could chime in because you guys may be seeing this or may be able to help in some mechanisms to kind of let us know what's happening in the marketplace and in neighborhoods and subdivisions. So I'll tell you guys like the spirit of this. I've talked to each of you, like except Ben, I haven't talked to you, but the spirit behind this is not to penalize companies, but it's as Knoxville starts to grow, I think we need some guardrails on how Knoxville grows. And I think it would be a disservice to Knox County residents if we allow large scale investors to kind of come in here and have their way. Commissioner, I don't have another copy. I got it. Okay, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
And there's a couple other, the first meeting we had were in Lund.
Oh, no problem. Okay. So,
Can you sort of shut that door halfway? That's good.
so
Okay.
The sun right in my eyeballs.
Yeah, good to see.
So that's the spirit behind the ordinance. And then I think so after first draft, I really wanted to accomplish kind of a couple of things, and you'll see them in here in the change. I wanted to build in several exemptions. So one exemption is for guys who own but single family homes who are renting them out to the marketplace, who are doing good business, who are from Knoxville, who care about what happens here. I wanted to build an exemption for those guys. Build to rent is not covered in this ordinance, but I got several calls from build to rent guys. And so I put an ordinance an exemption in for build to rent folks, even though this does not cover them. So, if you guys, you specialists, if y'all see anything that y'all think would be a challenge or something we need to address, let me know.
Okay.
I did address the affordable housing piece at 80%. But I guess to the rich, okay, so Phil and Nick, if there was a company that owned more than 100 homes, is there a way to, I guess, identify that company, that LLC, and is there any reporting around it, or would be around it?
We could identify multiple owners of multiple properties. Some of them by LLC, some of them just by name.
Okay. Oh, Steve, I didn't print a copy.
Hey, dude, you got one that I can make some maybe at one of the.
Here you go. You can have this one, mate.
Okay.
I can look at it online.
Okay. Steve. Oh,
Just, I was gonna make you. Yeah. Make you.
oh, okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
So you were saying, I'm sorry.
Well, we can identify commercial multi-parcel owners, and probably by class too. So, but you're talking just strictly single-family standalone.
Single-family standalone. Yeah.
No duplex or anything like that.
No duplex, no multi-family apartment complex.
We've got a bill with one that owns 352 right now.
Single family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's different sizes like that.
What, when you say classification, what kind of classification?
Well, commercial, residential, I mean.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. What were you about to say, Nick?
No, it'd be the
Oh,
assessor's
okay.
office. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I've pulled up in my research, like there's a America Homes, whatever, and you can see like in one LLC they got 30 homes, and then another one they got 70 homes, and
American Homes
Just-
United.
yeah. So I get people a piecemeal like that, but I was just wondering if could be reporting. So if somebody did have 100, you guys would know it too, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Are you giving me an assignment? Do you want that
No.
information?
Maybe like so if I reached out and said, hey, could you run us a report? Let's say we're at the end, we adapt this ordinance. At the end of the year, I say, hey Phil, could you run us a report on 100 homes? I mean, based on the ordinance, could you run us
Yeah.
a report and let us know?
If they're building or buying in bulk lots, that'd be good. The only thing that I would add to that, a name change doesn't occur till January 1 for the property assessor.
Okay. So
We could run you a quarterly report. We might be picking up new construction, but we wouldn't, if they went and bought 20 somewhere in one thing, we might still could run the report, I'd have to see, but it's not, you wouldn't see it on the website until January 1.
Do you have them classified as single family detached in your system?
Well, I'll just have to look. We've got them by name, I'm sure, but yeah, we could do that.
Because that's
Could be
one
a
of the
difference.
things, when you shared the data with us, that I was finding challenging to figure out is that not all of the single family detached properties are easy to identify. So you have to go through, even when you pull the ones that own a certain number of lots, you have to go through and verify which one of those are actually single family detached versus an ADU versus, a duplex, yeah.
Right. But it seems like if you're looking at every one versus 100, that's probably a little bit different. That refines our search a little bit, I think.
Because what we tried to do, which didn't work great, but we started with who has 100 lots. And we tried to kind of go based off of, if you look at like the address where they're paying the taxes, so there were a couple like the American Homes for Rent where it was really obvious that they had more than one LLC. But then what you get down into is, okay, they own these 100 lots, but now which one of those actually has a house on it and which one of those houses are being rented, that I could not figure out a way to easily do. Because I went and looked at, to throw Bill under the bus, which we probably should have had him in here, oops. But I went and looked at a couple of his properties just to see, like, as an example, is there a way to identify that that's a rental? And there isn't really. I mean, it's just his company name and then the lot
Thank you very
address.
much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry.
So are you looking at the vacant lots as potential or just part of it?
I was just looking at all of them because I figured it'd be easy to start with. If somebody owns 350 lots, then they might be a company, But then digging down into what's actually on the lot is where it gets challenging.
Yeah.
Can I snag one of your copies, David, instead of my janky one? I'll give it back if one of the commissioners comes in.
Cut and paste from the form, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If the commissioners come in, we'll give it back.
Okay. Well, on paper conscience, and they're like 9 pages, and I just didn't want Drew and those guys to print 30 copies.
Nicely organized, though.
So, or I guess we could take a look at the exemptions then and see, because the exemptions are the only significant change. I mean, the language and the rest is the same. The only thing that changed in the language of it was the API. It went from 60 to 80. So first exemption. No. grandfather clause is fine. Governmental entities. So domicile, okay. Domicile and place of business exemption, I think will cover Bill Pittman and any other guys like him in Knoxville. I think so. This ordinance shall not apply to any person whose principal place of business or legal domicile is located within the state of Tennessee, provided that the person's principal executive offices, primary business operation, registered place, physical location, is in the state of Tennessee. This person is not a subsidiary, affiliate, instrumentality of an entity whose ultimate parent company or controlling entity maintains a principal place of business outside of Tennessee. The person is majority owned, meaning more than 50% of his equity, membership interest, partnership interest, voting shares by natural persons who are domiciled in the state of Tennessee. Except that this exemption requires that Tennessee domiciled landlords are community stakeholders, subject to local taxation, local ordinance, and community accountability in a manner of out-of-state institutional investors are not. The majority ownership requirement of subsection 3 is to prevent evasion of ordinance through the formation of Tennessee registered shell entities controlled by out-of-state principals. Was that legalese enough for you?
I'm gonna default to the lawyer on that one. I have no idea what you just said.
No, I think it would cover a local guy who is just, that is his business. He is in the rental business. That is his thing. He has 100 homes, 200 homes. And Courtney.
That'll make Bill happy. Then I'll share here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So I think that would cover a local guy. Any questions or concerns or want to talk about it?
On your grandfather clause, it says, but what if he continues in business, buys more property? Because that looks like you saying this is all that he can own right there. Or I sort of read it that way. He shall not acquire any additional single-family homes. It's on page 4, grandfather clause.
Yes, I see your concern. So if he owns like 86 homes, he is under the 100 threshold, can he acquire 87? Or if you're talking, if he has 101, he can't acquire 102.
Right, either way. Is he limited that way? Because I imagine people
If
like
he's under the 100, then he wouldn't be grandfathered, he's just not subject to this.
Yeah.
But I think if it's over 100, goes to 101,
As effective date of the ordinance.
as an effective date of the ordinance, he couldn't acquire 102 without being subject to the ordinance.
Right.
Yeah.
Good clarification.
But he could build his own and then be okay, according to the ordinance.
Correct.
If it's not
Built to rent.
if he's not renting it out.
If he can build to rent,
New construction.
new
correct.
construction.
But the guys that.
Yeah. He could build to rent.
Yeah. That's excluded in this ordinance, it looks like.
Well,
But if
I have a
he's-
question about the build to rent exemptions, we'll get there.
But if he's flipping homes, that's what a lot of them do anyway. If they're flipping homes, then he still can't exceed the 100. I think you're gonna run into problems with some of these guys, because they've got, even the little guys, some of them now exceed 100, 120 or 30 anyway.
So one of the questions that
But that would be probably local if the flipping.
But
Yeah, they're
they would still
local.
be,
So they'd be under
considered
the-
local. So,
Oh, so that's.
so they still, they would be covered in that domicile piece.
one of the questions that
That's
we-
good. That was good.
So a local investor can, but an out-of-town investor cannot.
Yes,
correct.
correct.
Yeah. I think that part of the question towards the grandfather clause too, your point about flipping, let's say that it's, some guy from New York who owns 99 homes and he's got one more who's gonna flip it. The question that we had was intent, like the definition of the word intent. is, because it, in here doesn't say if he does rent it, it says if he intends to rent it within 12 months. So like if you're flipping it, are you intending to rent it? What if I just buy it and then I rent it at 13 months? Like the intent part is kind of, we couldn't really figure that one out. And I wonder if it's just swapping out the word intent for just saying if you do rent it. Because otherwise, how are you gonna prove that I didn't just flip it for my grandma and then change my mind after 14 months? Right. Am I
Yeah, and there,
misreading that?
and there's, you run into a similar problem, I run into this issue with, permits. You know, you can pull your own permit if you're the property owner, but it says you don't intend to rent it within 12 months. Well, you may not intend to, but then something changes and you end up renting it. You know, and so there's problems in enforcing that because you're trying to dig into what somebody's mind was at the time they purchased or did the renovation.
Yeah. Did the federal bill, did that language clarify that, or no, you don't recall?
No,
Okay.
no, the national bill was so, it was
Too vague?
it was broad and vague.
Okay.
So even I tried to mirror a couple of pieces to local, I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
I couldn't get there. Where were we? Okay, so I could take a look at this grandfather clause again, make sure we accomplish.
I don't know the legalese of it, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It might just be the word intent, honestly, that was the issue that our guy had, but, because the grandfather thing is good, right? You don't wanna start finding people and forcing them to sell properties, that would be a mess. But it's just
Yeah.
the intent piece, like making sure that's not something that's super easy to get around or just hard to enforce because it doesn't make any sense.
All right.
And intent is in rental purpose
Yeah.
section?
All right, so back to the next exemption. Where did I stop? The domicile. So domicile will cover our local guys. That will keep our local guys safe.
What page are you on?
Huh?
What page are you on?
4. Well, our 4D was
Got
what I
it.
just looked
Got
at.
it.
Domicile. And so domicile will cover these local guys because if they are locally, if they live here,
Give themselves flexibility.
their entity is here, they are okay. Even if they have more than 100 homes and they rent homes. If that's their business, but they live here,
They are exempt.
they are exempt.
Okay.
Market cap. This one I tried to cover, kind of covering the same folks, but I thought maybe we add market cap. That would help explain a piece of it too. Is that, and I won't read all of market cap, but the idea around market cap is that if a company is $1 billion investment firm, then we know they got too much money and don't need to be here.
Good for that.
Right? So market cap at $1 billion, yeah, hey, what's happening? What are you doing here? I think that would trigger, like, but if you're a local guy just buying and selling, you know, you're worth a few million, you're fine. You're fine. In company size, I think it's fine at that. Did that read okay, lawyer Ben?
I'm still reading it.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I just got a chance to look at this yesterday, so I'm still
Sure.
going through some of these things
Okay.
in my head. So
All right.
I do intend to like. put
But
some
does it give you
together.
pause? I mean, initially?
No, but I've been focusing on other parts of it so far. I'll look at this more.
Okay. All right. So now the build to rent exemption. Again, I wrote this piece because I know the build to rent guys are freaking out, but this ordinance does not pertain to guys who are building to rent. But I just put this in so we can, now we're certain It does not cover you, and you will be okay. So,
Can I ask a question about that?
yep.
Just looking at the exemption, because I have developers who will build an entire subdivision to function as an apartment building. It's just their single-family residential units. They subdivide it, they'll even go ahead and subdivide the property into individual lots. I think Farragut requires them to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that in Knox County, but a lot of them will. Some of them have the flexibility to sell it in the future should they choose to and sell as individual families, but they intend to operate it indefinitely as a rental community, the entire thing.
Okay.
Putting aside your statement that this doesn't apply to build-to-rent anyway, when you put in the build-to-rent exemption, it appears to have a disposal requirement that scares those folks, because if it were to apply, they would have to go out of business within 10 years.
Right.
That's their you know, so.
Okay.
Because it has a disposal requirement,
Okay.
if you do a build-to-rent, but then you have to offer it for sale in 10 years, they intend to keep it open as, you know, a functioning rental community
Okay.
indefinitely.
They did remove that from the federal bill, and I've dug up some examples of the policy wonks of why they said that probably wasn't
Okay.
helpful.
So would that whole section need to?
It would need some tweaking to make sure it doesn't apply to that type of development.
Just the sunset, because when you're doing the financial deal on the front end, it might not pencil out if you have to sell it within 10 years.
Yeah, banks aren't gonna sit there.
Like, the
and-
bank won't
They're
approve
not
that.
gonna loan, so you're hindering the investor.
Okay.
That's probably what came out of the
This is
federal.
a really simple version of what they
I have a
had put
question
together
for
on the
Phil.
federal bill, they just took that out.
So if someone builds the entire subdivision is built to rent, so the properties are contiguous, do we do that at the real residential rate or the commercial rate? Is it at the 25% or the 4% assessment?
Well, that's, you know, that's been sort of disputed across the state, but now the key word that the Division of Property Assessors look at is income producing. Is it income producing? That's gonna be at the commercial rate. And if it's single family, and I think in the law, and you all tell me, but a person can own one property and then have another, like a duplex now. Or if you inherit a place on the lake, then that's still residential. When you exceed two, I think in the law, then it should be commercial. That is very hard to apply in a county like this, but we're sort of under a mandate we're identifying, at least in the horizontal apartment, by December, we have to come up and relook at all of them. So I don't know if I answered your question, but I think that we should be taxing them that way. Have they always been taxed that way? I think it's always been debated. But the ones that we're catching now will probably be put on in 26, 27 as commercial if they're income producing.
So if they're,
But there's some things going on in the legislature
but
right
if,
now that could
is that
change
just if they're
that.
contiguous or if
Yeah,
they're,
be separate or wherever.
so they can have one in Powell and one in Farragut and one in Bearden and one in Hardin Valley,
It's income producing.
and it would still be if it's owned by the same individual.
That's my understanding. I don't know, I knew there's a cutoff in the number that they could own before it would be considered commercial versus residential. I don't know where that cutoff is now. I think that's been in flux over the last few years in the law, but at some point, if it's all under the same ownership and they're income producing, they're renting it, it'll be treated as commercial for tax purposes.
So if you own more than two properties in Knox County, then it would become,
It should be. Right now, I'm not sure it's that way, but we're trying to get more uniform. It's been-
Yeah.
A lot of people in the state has retired,
Yeah.
and you know, really since 1990, I guess, being Neil Whitehead, it's been in there. A lot of it was never done, never intent. Nobody ever saw this coming where one individual out of state's going to own 300 or 400 properties.
properties. Well, I can see where if it's beyond 10 or so, but, you know, or that, so it's gonna be, if it's, even if you own one rental property, it's gonna become, or two, I guess.
Right. We're gonna have to, since they're monitoring it, and they can go in and look at your computers and everything, and probably should be, but like I said, the world has changed, and probably you never had many people own more than 2 or 3 properties. They've never could afford it.
Well, that's part of why they're trying to legislate it at the state right now to figure that out, because right now it is on, like, people like his team to just kind of figure out based on the circumstances, is it or isn't it? So the state right now is trying to figure out, like, what should that be, you know?
So they'll
have
probably put like a number.
a state number or a state sort of circumstances about income or some other sort of.
I knew that if they were contiguous, that they, because I think there's been some where a guy would own 8 houses in a row and it'd be like, those are commercial, but if they were not contiguous, I didn't know that was.
I don't know if it's King of Kings, but one of the cases in Charlie Circuit handled it here in 15. That's one of the cases that they side in that. The problem with it is that the people that bring that, we'll call them developers for this right here, they never wanted to go Chancery Court. It's never been lost at the appellate level. I mean, at the administrative judge. So at the state appeals, it's not been lost there. They've been this, a recent one over in Robertson County, they developer won, but the state's intervened and they're gonna take that. But at the same time, the judge did that and he ruled 2 commercial properties, just 2, was commercial. So, but the legislature and some of our own people are carrying that. To me, I'm not sort of, so basically it's not the numbers and all like that. They want it reduced from the 40% to 25%. And, on the way that the property tax, on the classification. So that gives them a 15% break. And, you know, is that fair? I don't know. You'll have more police calls, more ambulance calls, you know. And I do think that it controls the rent somewhat. In a small area, if you go out and build and you've got not 1,000, say 200 units, and they price it at $1,000, and you got the mom and pops and people that you've known all your life, you're renting at $800. Well, sooner or later they want to they're not going to go down. They're going to want to catch up. So I think it influences that way, and it also, I think, one of the hindrances takes some of the, it's in this here that it when they go in that it takes away a little bit of the market.
One of the things I do want to call out, and, you know, not to get into too much of a philosophy discussion here, but, you know, the market tends to take care of itself as far as price. So from a factual standpoint, unless there is some data that I haven't seen, the investors that we have in Knox County have not driven up the price of rentals at all, because the market, if you're a renter, you're looking for the cheapest rental, right, that fits your criteria. And so if there are 2 very nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses right next to each other, I'm gonna go for the one that is less expensive. And so the market, functionally, we don't have this mechanism happening where, you know, one guy's charging $2,000, the guy next to him is charging $1,000. He goes, dang it, I could make more money. Like that hasn't happened because it's competitive, because, you know, we live in a capitalist system. So in terms of the investors that we do have here, we typically see them priced a little bit lower than market value, because that's how they're getting people into those rentals, is by trying to compete with the folks that are here. So it really does equal out. So that's just one thing that I wanted to put out there, that, you know, I don't think we're wrong to try to prevent some things from happening in the future, but as of right now, the investors we have here actually have provided really badly needed affordable rentals that have not increased the price of homes for sale or the price of homes for rent, as far as we can tell. And actually, the worst
I don't
candidates
disagree with
cash
that.
purchasers.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I think when we think about the market, everybody's heard anecdotally that, large scale investors are why our prices are the way that they are. I don't believe that. I don't believe it, but I know if you say to the world, Knoxville is a wonderful place to live and everybody is moving here, that means Knoxville is a wonderful place to invest. And so that means the same eyes are now looking at this place as an investment opportunity. And so Nashville didn't know 10 years ago that Nashville would be Nashville. And now Nashville is Nashville.
And we're trying to avoid being national.
So just some guardrails, and I don't want to exclude business, but just some guardrails, just some simple guardrails in how we move forward.
Well, and to your point, we talked about this a little bit over the phone, but in Corrington there was, there is a condo development, and an outside investor bought the entire development, bought every single unit in there,
The first one was in Hardin Valley, that happened in Knox County.
and they jacked the prices up. They did. It went up like 50%, 50-60%. And U-Haul moved in because everybody was moving out. And they stayed vacant because where they set their rental at, they were fine. Move out. We don't care. And they waited for the market to come up. And as soon as the market came up to meet what they were asking for, every one of them was full. They did not care if people were moving out. They weren't trying to retain renters. They said, leave if you want to leave. This is what we're asking for. And they terminated leases. And now they're full, but they're asking that $2,000 a month in rent. And it was take it or leave it. If you don't want to pay it, move.
I don't know what their motivations were, because it's not really how you make money, but it's interesting.
But they're full now. It's 100% occupancy. You go drive in there now, there's a car in every single driveway. But it's at 6-7 months, empty driveways.
What we're talking about is a unique type of money, which it's not your traditional investment in housing. Housing's become very attractive for, just look at Cumberland Avenue. Or Cumberland. There is all sorts, and this is happening all around the country. So I'm excited that we're at least thinking and talking about it here.
Yeah.
I'm not on the commission, I'm just a resident. But I've seen this happen in other places, and we might as well do our best to protect ourselves. So we're really grateful we're doing that.
Yeah. All right. Let me go back to the build to rent exemption. I will look at this disposal requirement. I just may remove that entire number 2. Yeah.
And you would remove
I
number
think-
3 then too also, right?
Let's see.
It's hard to enforce.
If
Because they go together really.
yeah.
Talking about exemption number 2.
Yeah, number
Yeah.
2 for sale, and number 3.
Or controlling entity maintains
Yeah.
a physical place of business
Good
outside the
catch.
Did you
state.
say you keep in Surrey or not?
No. I'm removing 3. I'll remove 3 too.
Is that the one that starts with the person is majority owned?
Page 6.
Page 6.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're.
Sorry.
Oh, build to rent exemption. I was
Yeah.
reading the other exemption. Okay.
Yeah. I'm in the exemption, that part. So 3. Yeah. All right. 3. This reporting piece, I can go take that law director off there and say the property assessment upon need.
Is this in 4?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're keeping 4.
Well, I'm changing the law director to property assessment.
In 4.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So basically what this says is you can't say I'm gonna do a build to rent and then purchase a bunch of homes in the subdivision and consider that part of your build to rent program. Okay.
All right. I think those were the major pieces of this.
Does
Go ahead.
the build to rent include guess my question is, if it exempts, or if it doesn't include the exemption of purchasing a bunch of homes, so let's say, like Homestead, Landhold's going in and builds everything out, but an outside entity wants to come in and purchase it. Do they purchase it after it's built, or does it, they have to purchase it before it's built, and then they're paying for the building of their homes? Because it sounds like there's the chicken and the egg. Do you buy the existing home, or do you buy the lots and say, build me the homes?
The way this is written, it would have to be new construction with the intent to rent.
Right.
Yeah, and build to rent guys are not in the ordinance as it is. And so I just wanted to build an exception in for them because this doesn't cover them, and I didn't want to get into that.
Right. So like if the ordinance says, hey, we have a rental model, we want to build this entire development and it's going to be all rentals, that's exempt.
This doesn't cover it. Yeah.
This does now with the exemption in here.
It exempts them.
Yeah.
It exempts them from this.
They weren't in it to begin with.
Gotcha.
Let me say it that way. They weren't in the ordinance to begin with.
Right.
But so that they know that they're not in it, this build to rent is in it.
The belt and suspenders approach, which I appreciate. That's why I think taking that disposal out of the exemption, because it kind of confuses the
Yeah.
if they're exempt, why have that disposal for a build to rent to begin with?
Yeah.
That disposal may make sense for other types of investors.
I got you. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm from an investor perspective. Let's say I'm an investor, and I know there's a lot of construction going on in Knox County. If I approach a developer, builder, whatever, sometimes one comes before the other. But if I know it's happening, and the initial intent is to build single-family homes, multifamily, whatever, to then sell them individually. But if I'm an investor, okay, I'm going to get on the front end. Hey, I want to buy everything. Versus, where's that line drawn? Am I buying it before the house is built, or
If
am
you're
I
an
buying
investor,
it?
you can build to rent.
Yeah.
Because we need that.
Yeah.
So that's not included in this at all.
Yeah. That's what.
But if I'm an investor and I'm buying them as they pop up for sale,
Then you'd
Then you'd be
I'm-
subject to this. You wouldn't
I'd be
subject
subject to this.
It's whether the house has been constructed or not. If you buy the lot to build it for a rental.
Then it's
community,
fine.
Then it would be fine.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
But if I go through a realtor to purchase the finished home,
and then rent it, then you're caught under
Like
this.
there's circumstances, and it hadn't happened since the market has been so hot, but there have been circumstances where subdivisions have been started. Most of the homes have been built to some stage of completion, not always complete. And then that developer goes away.
That's what happened in Horton Valley.
And then someone then comes in and
Yeah.
buys the whole development to rent it, even though it was initially for single family. That's a different
Right.
circumstance.
sure.
Yeah. So. All right. Is this as muddy as can be?
No.
There are some interesting nuances in there because and correct me if I'm wrong, but there, as the housing market is pretty hot, sometimes you can have a home buyer who says, "Oh, well, the house is only 30% complete. I want it," and it's sold before it's even done.
Yeah.
But
The benefit
don't
you're gonna rent
conflate
is
don't
still-
conflate that level of investor with large scale investor.
No, I get that, but
Okay.
you can have a large scale investor come in and say, "Oh, these are all under construction. I want to go ahead and get in on it now."
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see
Like you
what
say,
you're
it's
saying.
30% done.
They'd still be buying homes, so they'd still fall under the ordinance.
They fall under the ordinance.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then really, at the end of the day, you're not gonna be able to prove what somebody's thinking. That comes down to when you enforce it, it'll be demonstratable by the lawyer, whether a smart person is demonstrating it, that you didn't intend to do that, and that you didn't buy it, and then
Right.
rent it out. But this is just, a means to put teeth in it.
It's like getting a home loan and saying, "Yeah, that's my primary residence."
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The one thing that is still giving me a little bit of heartburn in there, Damon, is the bid piece, and that was the one that the realtors had called out under private right of action, so that's page 7, section 6. where it basically, the ability already exists to sue anybody for any reason, so let's just get that out there. But this specifically says that you can sue them if you were outbid, but it doesn't say anything about fair market value or any other like benchmark. And so what they were kind of scared about is, you know, let's say I just go bid $2 on every house and now I'm outbid and now I'm suing you. Like there needs to be some sort of minimum or standard in there that says, because fair market value is something that we can demonstrate via mechanisms that already exist in regular real estate transactions.
So who was outbid at fair market value?
Yeah, at fair market value or at reasonable value, even using the word reasonable because that can also be demonstrated in a regular real estate transaction. Just so that it's not saying like, if you outbid me at any price, then now I can sue all of you and that would create a big mess.
Okay. I got you. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're bidding on a home, or we don't have really auctions, but like if you're putting an offer on a home,
Yeah.
and I'm an outside investor, and you put in an offer of $400,000, I came in with an offer of $500,000,
Yeah.
and you got outbid.
Yeah. Because then what we're really getting into is like, that is just regular property rights of buying and selling things, and we don't want to try to legislate that, essentially. You want to give them the right to, you know, if that happened in some sort of sketchy process that wasn't reasonable or wasn't fair, then you should have some sort of remedy, which technically you already do without that section. But you want to prevent creating a mechanism for people to just be ridiculous and try and make money off of each other, essentially. I would like it better if that whole thing came out, but I also understand if you want to leave it in there.
So this ordinance.
I'll add reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'll cover.
at least just give us some sort of basis for that.
Yeah. So if I put reasonable value in, that gives us, that's not just a.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any input on that as the
No,
assessor.
I think that's good.
What were you asking? What were you saying, Adam?
So this prevents outside investors from coming in and doing this. So they can't purchase homes with the intent of renting them.
Large scale investors. Yep.
Okay.
The right of action thing is just saying this is like an additional remedy against them. If you are the big bad investor and you're coming in outbidding everybody with $100,000 more in cash for every house, then those private people who bid to buy those homes for themselves could come back and sue you under this ordinance. But
Okay.
you would have to already be in violation of it.
I'd already have to own the house.
If you'd have to have more than 100.
Mhm.
Correct.
Following up on that, this is a question I'm getting from a lot of the people that talk to me about this. How do we land on the 100 homes versus the 350 homes that the federal law?
That's true, because that just happened this week.
Well,
You know, a lot of my people say, well, why are we doing something less than what the federal law would allow?
I started working on this before the federal law.
I know.
And you
So
can
I didn't
come
know
up
that,
with
and so I
things
didn't,
too.
and the president, he followed me. So he
Okay,
grabbed,
that's fair.
And he's got some really wealthy friends who are like, hey, we own
No,
300 homes.
I think
I landed on 100 because the state bill that this originally came from was at 100. I did not think about 350, and then when I read the housing bill, I was like 350. I think that's too large for Knoxville. I mean, I don't know. If we went to 350, we might as well not even do it. I don't think.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, would anything currently owned be grandfathered in and exempted?
Yeah.
So you're only talking about.
Anybody that has more than 100 in the market now.
Do it?
Just
There's a couple
I
guys.
think the
They're all
American
local.
Homes for Rent.
Not covered.
Outside companies?
Outside companies. I know there's
They're
one that's 86.
floating. They're floating close.
Well, that's a great question. That's what I was going, under findings, after what Maria said a few minutes ago, if we read B, it says it is becoming increasingly common for business entities to purchase substantial numbers in Knox County. Well, that's not really true because we haven't seen that. Data
Yeah.
doesn't show it. And it's not lowering the supply, nor is it increasing the supply of calls. based on what Maria just said, and we all agreed upon. So we may need to look back at the findings and fine tune them.
Yeah.
I think the one Hardin
Where's
Valley,
Yes, it's on page 2, I'm looking at
it's
it.
part of the findings, it's part of the whereas.
The whereas.
Yeah.
That was something that gave me a little bit of a headache too, and was focused on the actual enforcement today, but is stating
sorry.
that
Well,
it's,
it's
no,
okay.
I think
It's
it's a
okay.
good call out.
I mean, there is
Stating that it's
flowery
facts, and
language.
it's like-
Let's just say that, Nick, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Then I'm interested in what
No.
counties are we
Yeah.
significantly higher than?
Could we just
What do you
maybe
mean?
change
Oh.
that language to say that we're concerned about it instead of saying that it is happening, just to be factually correct?
Where you,
Like
which
in the
one?
whereases, like where
Oh.
we're saying it's been increasingly common, like we haven't really been able to demonstrate that. So could we just say like, you know, we're concerned about it, or we're protecting against it, or it's happening nationally or something, just so we're not lying.
And I was just wondering about our urban growth at levels significantly higher than other comparable counties in Tennessee. I didn't know who we were
Where does it say
killing.
that?
Huh?
Where does it say that?
Section 2A,
Section 2?
findings, Knox County Commission finds that.
Oh.
Knox County experienced urban growth at levels significantly higher than many comparable Tennessee counties.
Well,
I thought
That's
they only
also,
got-
that's also the first line on the whereas on page 1. It's just repeated language.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are the whereas.
I just wondered who we're beating out.
I don't know that there's comparable. The one in the whereases makes more sense to me because it just says we've experienced significant growth, to your point, Nick, versus comparing us to mystery counties. I mean, I don't think we're.
Well, I mean, we
faster
are
than
growing,
that.
we are what, top 3 in growth?
Yes,
So we are growing faster than,
in state, percentage wise.
I mean,
And we were the,
But I don't think we're growing at a faster rate than Williamson and Rutherford right now, are we?
Not
No.
Rutherford,
No.
but Williamson,
But it
yes.
doesn't say that.
It just
But,
says
yeah.
That's not what
comparable.
this says. This says that significantly higher than many counties comparable.
Comparable is the word
I got you.
that you're struggling with.
And
there.
Williamson's comparable though.
You're
so-
about population size.
Maybe
Oh, you're
just
going
get
by
rid of-
population.
That's what I'm asking. Are we going by population?
Maybe just get rid of comparable.
How are you defining
Yeah.
comparable
that's fine.
is where you need to.
significantly higher than many
Yeah.
Tennessee counties,
Yeah.
just scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
And then I think if we're really gonna get into the whereases, that was something that I brought up as well. So the second one where it's become increasingly common, that's not really 100% accurate. It's like less than 1% increase, so and substantial numbers is also not really accurate because we have like one of those companies, at least that we can tell, until Phil goes digging into all the LLCs and finds more.
But yeah, American Homes for Rent.
I think that's the one that we maybe think
Is that 86?
does. No,
That's
it's,
MZ, that's MZ.
that's MZ. It'd be like 120 if all those LLCs that we're guessing are part of that company are actually part of it. So somebody needs to. So we think there's at least one.
Yeah, is this only single family homes? It's not multifamily, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then the other one that was kind of bothering me was D, like the unchecked purchase of single-family homes by institutional investors. It undermines our economic stability. I don't really know about making that a statement of fact. I think we could say that we're concerned that that could happen, but I mean, if we're just being nitpicky, like unless we have data to
Well,
show that
y'all
that's
are.
happening.
Y'all are being very nitpicky.
Hey, I didn't start
I think you're
this.
a
Okay, well, what if you said the unchecked purchase of single-family homes by large institutional investors could
Could
undermine
undermine,
the economic stability of Knox County neighborhoods?
yeah.
Is there, under definitions, is there, if I missed it, about what are large-scale investors? What defines large-scale investors?
No, but I can put what large scale investors are. We can add one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And since I've given a market cap section in exemptions, I can mirror, like I can make those that work with,
Yes.
in conjunction with that, so.
Well, I don't know, lawyer man, would you want large investors to match whatever we're saying they can't do in the ordinance versus, because then you get sticky where you're saying, okay, we're trying to keep these people out, but then you're saying only people that are worth $1 billion.
Well, and then could you also end up a situation where, let's say you have American Home for Rent, but they create a smaller LLC.
Well, you
They
try
create a
to
smaller
Well, they're
company.
gonna, people,
Tried to capture that.
you're gonna,
I think
yeah,
that's, cause it says affiliate, so.
yeah.
That's an enforcement issue, trying to dig down into, you know, who are the owners of different
Yeah.
LLCs.
And the reality about, and I've had that argument 1,000 times, there is a speeding limit, but people speed.
Yeah.
I can't stop people from
It's just
figuring out a
nice to
way
get it.
around this.
Right,
And so,
just gotta create guardrails
yeah,
first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
American
Yeah.
Homes for Rent did not make it easy. It wasn't like it was Adam LLC, Adam House LLC, Adam's Rentals LLC. Like you couldn't, you know, it wasn't that easy to line them up.
Yeah, and criminals are gonna find a way around things. That's the nature of business. But you still do it, and you know, you try to create the controls. But yeah, I will update large scale investors. Should they mirror the exemption? And that's a technical, I'm asking a technical kind of
Lawyer man.
question.
Yeah.
Lawyer man question.
Yeah, lawyer man.
Well,
Listen, everybody needs a lawyer man.
I'm glad you came,
and
actually.
to be clear, I'm a lawyer man for some people who may be affected by this, so you might not want to ask me that type of question.
Right, ask the law director.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll ask Mike. I'll ask Mike. Okay, I'll ask Mike.
Should you have an exclusion that would exclude a tax sale or a foreclosure sale?
No. No, I mean,
I don't,
So you're saying if someone like came in with a boatload of money and bought up?
Well, just if you had the property owner, you had someone that,
If we
that
try to
owns some
cut this in
properties
15
and let's
years.
say the trustee's doing a sale
Yeah.
and somebody lost track of how many they bought and they're now over 100, but they didn't realize it, so now we gotta undo tax sales, parcels.
Well, if they buy over 100, are they all going to then offer them for rent? Because it's
Right.
the rental part of it, not the
Yeah.
ownership part of it that
Yeah.
triggers.
yeah, if they're gonna flip it and sell it, no
If
big
they're gonna
deal.
flip it and sell it, then that
Then that's
would-
great, we
that
want
would
that.
apply.
Yeah. Refurbish it,
Well,
get it back out there.
how's Phil gonna know if they're renting them or not?
That's gonna be a problem with any of this, though, isn't it? That's,
Oh,
It's always a problem.
I think his point was he's just trying to
oh, gotcha.
discourage on the front end. We don't know how to.
because that was what you referenced when it comes to trying to figure out whether you can tax it at 25% or 40%. You can own several properties, but that doesn't mean that they are commercial properties. You can be flipping them to sell.
And you know, the computer software that we have, it can do a lot of things. It's not user friendly, but it can do a lot of things. And we're gonna be looking at it more and more now, to identify properties.
I think your commercial versus residential classification is going to probably be decided by the Tennessee Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Looks like the comptroller in Rutherford County are in a pretty good disagreement, so
Yeah.
I think it's already in the appellate court, and so that'll be decided by the Supreme Court.
Was it really?
All right, well, I don't want to keep you guys long, we're about to wrap up, so,
thanks for your work on this.
Thank you, Damon.
yeah. We're trying.
I'm still getting comments from our folks, so I'll probably
Okay.
send something around to
Okay.
get thoughts on it.
So, yeah,
So
my
I
60
saw the
days.
updated one yesterday.
Okay, so my 60 days, I know it's July, so
You're looking at July.
I'm bringing it, yeah,
20th.
I'm bringing it back. to-
And July
yeah.
20th, is it the, or is it the?
Work
Work
zoning?
session
What?
is the 20th, the 27th is our.
27th is the voting meeting.
Yeah, 27th.
20th is the zoning meeting, sorry.
The 27th meeting is when I'm bringing this back, so.
And that would technically be the first reading unless you wanna postpone it again, so.
Oh, what's the last meeting, my first reading? That wasn't the first reading?
No, this
No,
will
that
be the
wasn't
first
the first
reading.
reading. This will be the
Okay,
first reading.
okay.
Yeah, because we didn't,
Yeah, cause I was
We
thinking, I was like,
just-
did I read it, or did we just say
we just
30
moved
days?
it.
Okay.
You just postponed it.
So this would be the first reading, second reading would be in August unless you postpone it, then we'll have first reading in August and then second reading will be in September with a new commission, so.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see a need to postpone it.
Let's get it done.
I think no. Well, cause they come September.
Correct.
New guys come September.
Yep.
So everybody, all of us will know what this is if we kick it out in August. So, I mean, with this meeting, first reading, next meeting.
Will you
August
have
2nd
all
meeting.
of your, like, draft changes and
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah. Mhm.
Before, so it'll be posted with the preliminary agenda, so everybody will have a chance to digest it and.
Yeah, I should, well, I was
She's
about to
telling you
say
to get it
this.
together.
Well, it's in
She's like, get
form.
it together.
It's in form, so I was about to say, oh, I'll have it this weekend, but I'm not doing anything.
Don't do that
this
to
weekend.
yourself and July
I just said
4th,
I'm
good
not
Lord.
doing anything this weekend.
I think you got till Monday, don't we, to submit agenda items?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Monday.
yeah, so I'll what's today? Today's just Tuesday. Oh, I'll have this thing before the weekend. It's just Tuesday. This is Tuesday. I'll have clean version, back and forth. I'll have clean version, and then we'll have it on the agenda ready to go for first reading. So, all right. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the feedback, questions. We want to get the best product out there.
Thanks for hosting the party, man.
Hey.
Fun.